a user-defined function for finding factorial of a number. So basically, whenever I say that we are supposed to use functions, as we have stated that some part of main has to go outside. We have identified that the function which is supposed to go outside is my processing part. So my program will have input and output, and the processing will now be done in a function called as a fact. Main is going to be there inside. This main will accept the value from the input, gives it to fact does a task, and then gives the output the user. So now when I say main is going to accept the values from the user, it is expected that the fact will produce only one result. We have done this particular code using a for loop. We are supposed to modify the same program using the functions now. So suppose if I ask you to find factorial of n. Factorial of n is multiplication of all the numbers from n to 1. So it means that someone has to take care that I'm supposed to generate numbers from n to 1. So let's set I as 1 n and go till I equals to 1. So here I is set to n and go till 1. Since I'm going to go from a higher value to lower value, I'm supposed to decrement the value of I. Every time when this I is generating the values, you have to multiply the value of I with some variable. So let's take a variable as say f and set this as 1. Suppose n is say 4, I is 4. So say 4 into 1 is 4. I becomes 3. 4 into 3 is 12. I becomes say 2. 12 into 2 is 24. I becomes 1. 24 into 1 is 24. I becomes 0. You will say stop, because you have generated all the numbers from 4 till 1. So the processing part has to be written outside, and that outside is nothing but a function called as fact. In this case, make sure that the results are of proper type. For a very small input, it is expected to have very large values. So the large values can be stated as long int. Why? Because when I say input as 9, factorial of 9 is beyond 32,767. Hence, that will be written as a long integer variable. Now let's look at the program for finding the factorial using functions. I have this particular simple code for you. Well, again, some part is missing. Now we'll add up those parts. I've just placed the definition, but the call and the declaration are still missing. Let's take a variable int n, the result variable as f. Here, the result variable is going to be of long int, whereas input is going to be an integer variable. I'll ask the user to enter the number, read the number as n. The processing part should go outside. So that is already outside. So here, I'm supposed to give a call to what? A function called as fact. So here, call a function by name fact. What need to be passed? I'm supposed to pass n at this place, so hence write n and put a semicolon. So the variable n which exists of main will now be copied into n of function fact. So there are two n, one n of main and one n of function. So this is of main and this is of fact. Assume that if n is 4, so 4 at this place, it will go at this place. This for loop will go from n to 1. Every time when I changing from n to 1, the value r is continuously multiplied by I. So I is 4, r is 1. So I is set with n, 4 greater than or equals 1, true, multiply r with I. 1 into 4 is 4. Then I minus minus will make it as 3, check, 3 greater than or equals 1, true. True in the sense, again do this particular task, 4 multiplied by 3. So r is 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. Again go back, reduce I is changed to 2, 12 into 2 is 24. Again go back, reduce I is 1, 24 into 1 is 24. Again go back, I is reduced to 0, 0 greater than or equals 1, false. If that is false, it means that the function ends the task. Before it ends the task, it says return r, 24, r is of long int, hence the return type is specified as long int. So this has to be copied. So on the left hand side, I should have a variable at this place. Whatever which is there in r is copied onto f. The factorial equals to percentage %ld, f. Percentage %ld is for long integer, hence 24 goes to this particular f. For n as 4, probably the result is very small. But when n becomes say 10 or 12, you will experience that this r stores a very large number. So I have written a function call and I have written a definition. Now it's time to write the declaration. Can you help me with the declaration? Yes, say this along with me. Return type is true, long space int. The name of the function is fact. How many values it accepts? One value of type integer, true. I'll say int and a semicolon. I have written a declaration, this is call, and this is my definition. We have seen this code in our for loop, and now we are seeing it for the second time. This time we are using functions for implementing the code. So understand the logic, how exactly it has been done, and then work with a simple example of your choice. So do run this program one more time with your own number and try to trace out what are the variables of the memory which I've shown at this place. Thank you.